Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
How you doing, Manal?
I am doing very well. I feel delicious.
You look delicious too. I love that green. And girl, I'm just all in your business. You are glowing today. You are glowing. I love it. 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 Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. Truth, when you start like being honest and truthful and setting boundaries, the peace that comes, man. It's just beautiful.
It is. It is. I am really appreciative for where I am in my life. I am. Even with the hard stuff that I'm going through, I'm appreciative. I just love it. Love, 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 love. I told Kwame before we got started, I said, I'm going to be singing a whole bunch tonight. I just feel musical. The hills are alive with the sounds of music.
Yes. Don't get me to singing. I'm a Sound of Music girl.
Yeah, God. All right. Manal, we are in a new month. How has your September been Septembering?
You know what? The thing is that I've had to kind of put a lot of the old bullies at bay. And sometimes it's the bullies of the mind, right? Because this person can just very well be being themselves.
Yeah.
But I was bothered. I was triggered. And it created this moment. It created this energy. And so September for me has been about laying aside all of that bullshit that has been weighing me down. And just allowing myself to be and allow other people to just be. Like, I ain't got to pick up nothing that you're not putting down. And I don't have to pick up anything that you are putting down.
I love it.
My choice.
I love it. So for me, so far, it's been a month of introspect. I've been looking inside and I've been checking myself. And I'm the type of person, I love growth and development, right? And I, even in this short 11 days, just by what I have noticed, I have about myself and correcting little small things and fine tuning, I can see myself in another place. Even now, child, my life is getting better. Well, we're here to have a good show tonight, and we want to encourage you all to click that like button and share this video because we're getting ready to get into the things of the things. But before we do, we have this week's ass versus class, or class versus ass. Now, for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, class versus ass is when we highlight someone who is pushing culture forward.
Making us look good.
Is making us look good. They're doing the dang thing, and we're proud of them. And then ass is someone who may be causing us to take a few steps back. Someone who we might not want to invite to the cookout because they cutting up. But we love them anyway, because we don't throw away our brothers and sisters here at the WaltB Connection. This week's class of the week is... we have been doing it. Coco Gayoff. I hope I'm saying her name right. Gayoff. She has won the Australian Open. She won one of the U.S. Opens. Look at me messing up this whole thing.
If you sing it. Go ahead.
She won. Everything got to be gospel. She won. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. But she won the U.S. Open. And she was just recanting this week. She has she says it seems so unreal for her. Black women have been doing it this year in terms of winning championships.
This year?
And this year, well, of course, for a while now, but this year it has really been Black woman, Black girl, Black lady, however you decide to label that. It's been you all season for championships this year. And so I really want to just highlight and celebrate this young woman, Coco. Looks like she has a bright future ahead of her. She is definitely filling the shoes of her predecessors, Serena and
Venus.
The
other one.
I show it's gonna, Lord. But she's definitely filling their shoes. I love it. She too is ladylike and unapologetically Black. When you see things like this, what does it make you think of, Manal?
Oh man, you know what? It makes me think of sisterhood. It makes me think of the possibilities that now are in front of other Black girls that we can point at and say, she did it, you can. And that, going back to that whole movement that was happening where it's the representation matters. Like we need more images. We need more blueprints on success in every avenue. And so this is just one of them.
I love it. I love it. And so big ups to you, Coco. Clap, 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 clap. Now, for every positive, there is a negative, right? For every win, someone must fail. Can we show the ass of the week? This week's ass of the week is Blueface and Krishan, damn it.
Together. They split
together. They just had a baby. First off, she had the baby on Instagram Live. And I don't judge nobody. Do you get your check, get your coin, however you got to. But it was a whole circus and fiasco because she did not invite him to the birth of their child. Okay. He then goes public, and he tells her she has but so long to get it together. Otherwise, she gonna lose custody of her kids. Then she go live and she start telling him, "Ain't nobody gonna take my kids, bro." And it's just turning into a big back and forth. Hey, cupcakes. It's just turning into a big back and forth. What I wish for this couple, I wish somebody would get therapy. Out of the two of them, one of them has to be the example and go get therapy. And I wish they would realize and grow to the place where they can handle their issues. I'm not just going to say off of social media. I want them to get in front of the camera, period, and handle their issues. Handle them behind it. We don't need to know every little thing that is going on in you young people's life. Eventually, they're going to regret this. They can only explain so much to their kids, and then their kids are going to get on here and see what we see, and then their kids are going to now have an opinion that may be ill-informed, that may be, inaccurate, but at the end of the day, they will have no one to blame but themselves.
See, my thing is, I'm not really big on reality TV people anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They have built their names on bullshit, both of them, and so this is just more shit. I feel like as a people, we just kind of got to start shifting away from the bullshit.
Absolutely.
And then we can allow our brothers and sisters to get the kind of help that they need because we stop paying them for bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pay them for healthy choices. Let's pay them for helping themselves and not the bullshit. They are not an exemplary couple that we want to follow the example of. And this is just more drama. And now the baby is here and they still don't know how to turn it off.
Absolutely. So I want to tag on. I want to tag on to this, Manal. This is also what you're saying is absolutely on point. But I think it's also a mandate on us, the consumer. We have to show that there is a hunger in our community for things of substance. I remember, okay, for those of you that don't know, I'm a gay man, right? I came out of the closet. Aren't you proud of me, Manal?
I'm so very proud of you.
You do this every week, Walter.
You just gonna keep coming out. You're gonna keep going back in so you can keep coming out every Monday.
Every Monday. Okay, so
I'm gonna need some
sometimes
outfit changes with these out.
right.
Okay.
Sometimes when you get into the gay community and you start looking at our entertainment and our platforms, because the numbers are high on certain types of content, those are the contents that get pushed. And
Absolutely.
I try within my realm of influence, I try to help push content that, okay, now entertainment is entertainment, but everything is not fighting and sex, and that's all we like is porn and turning up and everybody talking about cracking bottles and beating somebody over the head. That's all that's in our community. I like a good old love story, that's not somebody stealing somebody's husband, or somebody, when a lot of times when you see the gay person on a lot of these movies and stuff in mainstream, there's always some type of perverted or evil undercurrent there, or they're just a big smart aleck queen or whatever. One of the streaming platforms I love that I believe shows a good gambit, a good view of the LGBTQ experience, it too. One is AC Connection TV, and another one is Lord, I just finished watching a series on there. Them, watch Them, was a good one as well. To watch. And by the way, they didn't pay me for those endorsements, and I don't know if I'm gonna get tagged for saying their name. But those are two. I think they have a good balanced view of the LGBTQ experience, and so I try to push those versus other platforms that have all they show is sex and fighting. That's it, sex and fighting.
Well, I think one of my biggest pushbacks in all on all media platforms is don't trade Black lives for money. Like, we do not now have to become the ones that buy and sell our own. And when I think about one of my favorite movies is Hollywood Shuffle. If you don't know what that is, please look it up. Go watch it. Hollywood Shuffle. Richard Townsend. He created this movie around Hollywood and how they were continuously trying to push Black people into only playing these caricatures of Black life and existence. And it was a few cookie cutter characteristics and personalities that Black people could portray. And so I feel like when Black Hollywood pushed back and said, no, we want to start telling our own stories with some substance and in the fullness and the gamut of who we are as Black people, and start to highlight our real culture, I feel like now networks are like, don't worry about it. I'm going to give Pookie and them. They gonna do it. They gonna do it for half of what I was gonna have to pay you anyway.
Right.
And we can do a little skeleton crew. So I ain't even got to pay a bunch of people, but I'm gonna make a whole lot of money off some bullshit, And so, like, also recognizing that yes, you may be getting a payout, Pookie and them, but you are now joining that machine that was buying and selling us. And the older generation, they said absolutely not. And now you said, I'm gonna sell out, give it to me. Like, let's not. And now we putting kids in the middle of it. I got problems with that.
Right. Absolutely. So that is definitely why they are not a good representation of where we're trying to go as a people. Get your money. I'm not trying to stop anyone from getting their money. I just don't want this to become the next wave of relationships that our young people have to endure. All right. But I also agree. Can you put Kwame's comment back up here? He says that part, Walter, because Zeus wouldn't be Zeus if people didn't support it. Now, I want to say this. I do appreciate the fact that Zeus is Black owned. Hey, Tara, how you doing? I do appreciate the fact that Zeus is Black owned, but I want to be very clear about this. They, like you just said, are definitely complicit in pushing the BS that mainstream likes to show and the narrative that mainstream likes to push about us. And so for that, we might have two asses of the week. Blueface and Krishan and Zeus Network. No, I'm just playing. Yeah.
Yes, I second that motion.
You second
Anybody
that
got a
motion?
third? Anybody got a third?
Can we get a third? All right.
Once.
Well, we're just getting ready to we're getting ready to take a peek into pop culture. Just a peek. Because the whole show ain't about pop culture, but we just want to take a peek into the things of the things on tonight. Just a peek.
I just like that blinds. I like that nosy neighbor feel.
Me too. You know, I've been a nosy neighbor before. You know.
Me too.
You know, especially when my neighbors is crazy. I need to know when they are gone so I can go creep out to my car and go to work. But
I'm the one that will sit in the car and roll the window down. Did
because
you throw his bag out the car?
But that's because fresh air is important. You need fresh air while you're in the car. I get it. But here recently,
I'm trying to get more clients. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting more clients.
There it is. There it is. Here recently, our Vice President, Kamala Harris, was celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Look at her. She's beautiful. I think she's beautiful. And even though I can't support all of her policies and, you know, I don't like all of her history, I do think she is a good representation of a woman of color. Before we get into this story, Manal, what do you think?
Oh Lord. Look. Don't get me wrong, you know, HBCU grad, hey, AKA, you know, I love the Black history and story of her.
Okay.
But I also can recognize the fact that she is in the business of Blackness and not necessarily being Black.
Okay.
The reality is she doesn't have that luxury, right? Because here she is honoring hip hop in a suit. So there's still these lines that she has to toe. And so whereas I appreciate her being the first Black woman to hold her position, I just can't wait for the fifth one, because I feel like by the time we get to the fifth one,
then we're gonna have Erykah Badu walking out there.
Bit, you know, and then at the it'll be the 55th anniversary of hip hop, they'll walk out there in a tracksuit with some horses. I'm just saying it'll have a different vibe, you know.
Got it.
That's what I'm waiting on.
They may rap a verse of their favorite song
they
to give us
rap.
a taste.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just to give us a little taste of what they like.
Maybe not push it. I don't think they're gonna push it, but they'll at least be dressed for the occasion.
So they won't drop it like it's hot.
Nah, too far.
But they may just put a little dip in the hip.
Yeah. Sway a little bit.
Got you. All right. Now, she not only there go, child, I'm the old lady in the window watching all right, Cupcakes. I'm watching. She said, I'm the old lady in the window watching with all the security cameras and everything. Me too. Don't touch none of my ish.
That's what I'm saying. A little bit more rhythm. If she was an AKA and she was stepping on the line, she would have a different flow to her. I'm just saying. But
hold on. We got a little footage. Kwame, can you play just a tad bit of that footage?
I'm ready.
Look at her. She, you know. She got a little, you know what she's giving? You know what she's giving? She's giving, turn these cameras off and I'll break you off something huge.
Yeah, she like, I can't wait till I get home and play this playlist.
Right.
You know,
she's giving me back up 2 steps because I'm about three bass drums away from
she's
dropping
like,
it
I'm
like
about
it's hot.
to forget
who
I am
in a minute, right? I'm gonna earn all this paycheck in a minute.
I need the fifth.
Got it.
She's the first. We gotta let her do her thing, kind of break in the mode.
Now the awesome thing about this one is that she not only attended this celebration, but she gave in my opinion, a powerful speech where she highlights the fact that hip hop has gone from a sideshow act, something that was really, really frowned upon in society, to something that now is influential in every area of our culture. She noted hip hop as being a true American treasure and a true American art form. And I think this is something that we as Black people have to take pride in, because hip hop, much like all of the music in the Black community, it started in America. Okay, now, please hear what I'm saying. I'm not glorifying what we've been through, and I'm not glorifying our oppression, but it started in America. So a lot of the other musical art forms came from other countries over here. Opera started someplace else, came over here, and then then we have American opera, whatever. Whereas hip hop started in the Black community over here in America. And this is something that they can't deny, and this is something that we need to celebrate and we need to blast.
Here's my thing though, Walter. Here's
Absolutely.
my thing. We still cannot eliminate the politics of this. This ain't new news to Black people. We know.
Absolutely.
So who is she saying this for, right? And why? Why was it such a big deal? Now, don't get me wrong. It is it's great that hip hop is being recognized at such a high office in the United States. But we also cannot forget the politics of what is happening. But hopefully now that hip hop has gotten more of a stage, we can try to get back to what hip hop used to be.
Okay.
And that was something that was for it was for empowerment and movement in a more positive way, not just my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. Because this is a whole nother hip hop message.
Girl, you just quoted my favorite hymn. Pound Town just left Pound Town. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Oh,
but I just feel like it's like, hey, we're Black, we're here. The things we produce is great. They're great. I feel like it's still that,
Okay.
Who we here for?
I personally think this is great, and I think more people of influence need to acknowledge the great impact that we have had on this culture. I often say this: Black people are so talented that we took something like living in the ghetto, and we have made. I know that it has its negative impacts and its negative nuances and inferences, but now we have everybody of other cultures wanting to live in our ghetto, because we made it look so appealing and so dynamic to an extent. So absolutely. Big ups to you, Kamala. Big ups to everyone who has participated in every one of those 50 years of hip hop. Did I agree with all of it? No. But I absolutely celebrated. Hip hop has made more Black millionaires, I believe, than any other industry. Big ups to you. Now, to move further on to another topic, you like a good old fight, Manal?
I loved boxing at one point.
You did? You loved boxing?
I did. I was a Roy Jones Jr. fan, Layla
Really?
Ali fan.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I liked this guy. I liked Mike Tyson. I was a Mike Tyson glancer.
Evander Holyfield.
I liked Mike Tyson, and when I like him more now that he has become an older gentleman and he is now more prone to use his words. I don't necessarily like everything he says.
He uses his words now.
I don't necessarily like everything he says, but I just like that we can see the maturity in him. I love growth.
He was a toddler when he was boxing. Now he's an adolescent, and we're working on his communication.
Got it.
With other people.
There we go. But Floyd Mayweather has been going around saying that he is greater than Muhammad Ali, right? And Mike Tyson is like, nah, bruh, nah, you're not greater than Muhammad Ali. Do we have that footage of what he said in response to that?
What do you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali?
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of greater than Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself.
There you go.
Okay, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
So again, I like that he's using his words now, and he's not trying to pull up, and he's not trying to, invite
people's
someone,
ears,
right, and invite someone to a fight. He's just like, you know what, he's not. And this is something I wish. I was just on a live the other day, and on this live, there was a young person on the live who kept saying things like, y'all generations like to take disrespect, talking about older generations past before them. Y'all like to take disrespect. Y'all celebrate weakness and this. And then they begin to kind of like down talk the slaves and those who fought for our freedom. And, that bugs me. Why do we feel like in order for us to stake our claim to greatness, in order for us to celebrate who we are and what we are, why do we feel like we have to diminish what those who came before us did?
You know what? So, like, when I think about how we are socialized, it's a matter of it's comparing, right?
Right.
It's all about competition that is ingrained and engrafted in our existence. It's competition. And so one of the things that I can actually appreciate that Mike Tyson said was, if you want to be as great as Muhammad Ali, you have to live as he lived and walk as he walked, and then you can kind of see if you measure up, right? So he didn't even talk about him as a boxer. He talked about him as a man and a man of the people, which is really beautiful, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think that we have not been taught to really measure a person fully when we are even looking at them, which is why we dismiss the older generation so much. And even what I was saying about Miss Harris, is still, I have the utmost respect for what it is that she has to do in order to move us forward. Absolutely. Do I love Michelle Obama more? I do.
Absolutely.
They just carry themselves differently. I find Michelle Obama to be more relatable. But can I appreciate the space that she's having to carve out for the next women coming after her? Absolutely. And so I think us being able to have that conversation about just appreciating the fullness of a person, what they had to experience just to be themselves, and that respect for the position that they have had to exist in, and then also to be themselves in whatever capacity. I think we don't talk enough about those things.
Okay. Absolutely. And I also feel like we just, at the end of the day, I think we have to accept the fact that there can be more than one person who is great at something. And then things happen in, seasons and sessions, and, your day may have come and gone. And there's nothing to say, well, Muhammad Ali was definitely the greatest to do it while he did it. Absolutely. And hopefully one day I'll live up to be, whomever. Hey, Unc, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Better, late. I love the support. I really do. Uncle Kyrie is here from Candid Conversations. Now, I love this because he, like you said, he was looking at Muhammad Ali as a whole man and not just an athlete. And so I thought this was amazing. But now we have to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We have one more just a peek. When we come back, we're going to get into the things of the things for this evening. We're going to get into the things of the things this evening. And we're really going to talk about where we are as a nation and why it's important that we kind of shift our view and why we stand up for each other when we come back. Go ahead and take us away, Kwame.
In a world filled with diversity, where radical faith and progressive believers come together, there's a place that's breaking all boundaries and embracing believers from all walks of life. Bullet and Flight Radio, where believers unite, boundaries break, and love triumphs. Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Lux and Noir.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. We are back. We are back. We are back. And tonight we're just talking about the things of the things. An appreciation for humanity. Libation, appreciation for humanity. So tonight, the things of the things, there is a land developer who is trying to steal land from an 81-year-old black man. Okay. Very, very interesting story here. It's not unique. I want you all to know this is not a unique story. This is not an isolated incident. This is actually something that happens on the regular. But what I need you all to do is pay attention to this, and we're going to come back and have a few we're going to talk about a few things of the things tonight. Go ahead and play that first video, Kwame.
My name is John Simmons. I moved here 22 years ago. None of this over here was here. This was an isolated place. Nothing was here. And I worked hard. I took a wheelbarrow. Took me a year to clean this land up. And the city would not let me put a brick home here. They said I could only put a double wide. First, they told me I couldn't put nothing here because I tore the old trailer home down that my father-in-law had. And I hired a lawyer. He charged me $10,000 to get me to get on this land. And his name was, I'm trying to think of his name now.
It's okay, but now what's happening?
But right now, the developer in this area, Trent Thomas, Roundtree Development, and their lawyers, is trying to take my land. They asked me to sell.
Okay, so the person filming is trying to help him get his message out there, and the thing I like about this is she is respecting his voice in the matter. Okay, but she's just trying to help him get all of the information out. So what happened was Mr. Simmons purchased this home 22 years prior to this. His wife died about 2 years ago, right? They were trying to build a home on this property, and the city told them they could not. They could not build a home on this property. They could put a trailer on there, a double wide trailer, a portable home, but they could not build on that property, only to turn around and to let a land developer build all the way around them. So now the land developer is building around them, and the land developer wants his land, right? So, Manal, the land developer is building around this gentleman, and they want his land so they can develop his land. So you think they would offer him fair market value for the land, right?
Absolutely not.
Oh, you're going to go along with my example, and you're going to play like
I mean, of course they're going to.
Yes.
Isn't that what they do to Black people? They
Absolutely.
give them fair and equal? Okay,
because
go ahead.
This is America. But can you play the second video, Kwame, please?
I said I wasn't going to say it. They offered me $150,000 for my land just a few years ago. And you see what I got. Last month, 3 months ago, they offered me $500,000 in front of my lawyer. I said, no, I'm not going to sell.
Okay. So first off, I'm proud of Mr. Simmons for not taking the peanuts. I'm proud of him for not taking the peanuts and knowing what he does have. Okay. But see, the tricky thing that they did was they got with his lawyer and they stole 10% of his property. And they're now trying to force him out. Okay. So now they became 10% owner of the property, and they were able to do that with his lawyer. And if you go look the story up, they have it all laid out there. He's on camera with the contract where they slipped it in one of the contracts, and the lawyer that was representing him is now representing the land developer. Right. And so this shows, the reason why we're talking about this tonight is because this shows a lack of appreciation for humanity, where we need to shift this thing, and we as Black people need to, we should be coming to this older gentleman's aid in helping him with his lawyer. Yes, with his lawyer. We should be coming to the aid of this gentleman and helping him get this thing corrected. And Manal, when you hear things like this, what is the first thing that comes? For me, it was kind of triggering, because when I see this, I see my grandfather who works for years and years and years. I see my great-grandfather who worked for years and years and years, only to have a large part of their dream and their work stolen by white companies. And this is not something I'm making up. This is actually something that happened to my great-grandfather and my grandfather. A portion of their estates were stolen by white companies, and because the family was so fragmented, we couldn't get them to come together and actually put up a fight for it. They were able to get away with it. What are your thoughts when you see something like this?
I think number one, it's important for us to remember that, like you said at the top of this segment, that this is not anything new. Mm-hmm. This is old news. These are the things that have been happening to us ever since the colonizers arrived, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And it is that that ideology that they own everything that they touch, mm-hmm. or they own everything that they see.
Manifest destiny.
That what we have worked for, we will sell it for $1, right? Because all we care about is the money. Mm-hmm. And that we don't have any value and stake in the things that we earn and build and create. And so it's really, and also Queen Sugar, that's what popped in my mind, is a show that actually highlights this exact story.
Okay.
It's a father who worked hard, had land, he was a farmer, and it shows how, the white people tried to push him out and his family out, and his family has been fighting to keep the land. And so one of the things that I feel like, yeah, as people, it's not he's our father. He's our grandfather.
Yes.
And we have to start acting and moving that way as a community. We don't know where the rest of his family is. It could just be him. Everybody else could have died off. He might not have had any kids. We don't know. We don't know his whole story.
Right.
But as Black people, we have to start seeing our own reflection in one another. And we have to start being moved to want to support each other. I'm not going to move on that land. I'm not building shit on that land. But can I do something to help him keep his land, or at least get the value of it? Right.
Right.
Right. If nothing else, because there was actually a story of a woman out here. It's historic, in St. Louis, where developers were trying to buy her home as well. It was her family's home. Another Black woman, and she said, I'm not doing anything. I'm keeping my home. And she made the state actually pick up her home from the foundation and place it where she wanted it. So that way her house wasn't demolished. And so what is it that he wants? And he needs to have some family around him, some friends around him, whether they are blood related or not, asking him what it is that he wants and helping him to get what he wants, because he worked for that land. He sacrificed for that land. He's probably had to hold a lot of people off. And then we also need to safeguard him, because we know what happens when you tell the government no. We know what happens when you tell white people no. We know what happens. And so he definitely needs to have some people on his six. The local biker gang, anybody, who is willing to have his back to help safeguard that land, because he's 81 years old. He needs somebody to have his back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I miss when we used to, keep in mind, I'm only 40, so I don't want to put it out here like I was here in the 70s and we was, fight the power. But I miss when seasons where we were unified like this, and so, like you say, seeing our reflection in this gentleman. Hey, Dr. Holt. Hey, Coco the Goddess. How y'all doing? And I see my little brother, Samuel Robinson, in here as well. I miss when we used to walk in that type of unity that you're saying. I see my reflection in this guy. I see my grandfather, an elder in the community. And the fact that it's not that he's fighting for something ridiculous. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to, like you're saying, we don't have to know too much backstory to know this man deserves fair market value for his property. And come on now, when we're talking in major thoroughfare areas, major developed areas, you can have an inch of land and they will sell it to you for $2.5 million. And then you're going to come offer this guy first $150,000. Okay, maybe we did you wrong. $500,000 for you to put 10 houses on there and make $2 billion. Not fair. Not fair. So yes, we definitely need to speak up for Mr. Simmons. We need to be his voice, and not just for him. When you see this happening, speak up. Speak up. And whoever that lawyer is, you let me find it. He needs to get up, and he needs to be barred. He needs to be banned from practicing law, because that's some crafty, evil, snaking, conniving. And I ain't cussed all night. That's some conniving bullshit right the fuck
Where's
there.
the ethics board?
Absolutely. That should not be allowed. And again, a lot of times they get away with it because we don't say or do anything about it.
Or we don't know who to talk to.
Oh, we don't. Right. And so this is why I think we need to push education. College isn't for everybody. Manon, I would not be a good lawyer. I wouldn't. I would not be a good doctor. But that's why I celebrate those of my brothers and sisters that have that. That's where they shine. I celebrate them and I push them, to become the greatest, because who knows, one day I may need that doctor to operate on me. Who knows, one day I may need that lawyer to stand up for me. And I definitely would much rather one of my own. Now, of course, I'll take help where I can get it, but I definitely would want one of my own working on me, someone who understands my experience fighting for me and defending me, who's not going to be judging me, with such harshness. I definitely would want them standing in solidarity and defending me. So this is why we need to push education, and we need to push, people fulfilling their purpose beyond just the surface level. What are you wired to do? Mm-hmm.
And who are not easily paid off either, because that's the thing. Oftentimes, one or two of us makes it out, makes it to where we were trying to get to, and instead of being a help to our Black community, we take the paycheck, we take the payout, we take the bribes. And so it's about
absolutely
recognizing your value in any position that you hold or work for, and recognize that you do have a responsibility to the community. I don't care if you wanted it or not, you have it by default. And now, what are you going to do with it? And if I was this gentleman, I would make a lifelong deal. I would make a lifelong deal. Let's say I did accept that $500,000 up front. I need to relocate. You're right. But in my contract, I'm going to ask for some money every single year. I'm going to make sure that the next generations coming after me are wealthy and well off. And then maybe they start buying islands. I don't give a good goddamn what they do. But I will make a deal where my family benefits off that deal for years to come.
Because ultimately that's we want for our children and our legacy what our counterparts want. We want to be able to set our children up. We want our children to be able to live the dream. Of course, we don't want children that don't know the value of $1 and hard work. That's not what we're saying. We're not trying to produce the next lazy generation, the next lazy this. But we want to be able to set our children up as well. But we can't, because when we try, we have bullshit like this that's happening, or we have redlining, or we just have, we just flat out ain't gonna give you the loan. Why? We're gonna find some little fine-tuned reason why we can't give you the loan, and why we can't get you so you can enjoy your success. Exactly. We're trying to set our next generation up as well. Samuel Robinson, Facebook listener, says, yep, we got to make sure the next generation is taken care of. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. We got to make sure the next generation is taken care of. And I'm what you would consider middle-aged. Okay, so it's my job to...
No.
I know, child.
No, I don't believe you lying.
They dropped it. It used to be 40, but they dropped it. It's 23 now, so.
Oh,
okay. It's my job to look at Kwame is trying to come from my neck tonight. But it's my job to be that bridge between the older and the younger, right? And try to bridge that gap of communication and try to help position, because everything the young people are saying is not wrong. Not everything they're saying is not wrong. But sometimes they do need some fine tuning. And sometimes they're just out of pocket, and they do need someone to tell them, hey, bruh, hey, sis, get back in pocket, get back, not necessarily in formation, because I like what you're doing, but here's how you make it a little further if you implement this. And then, we also need the wisdom of our elders, so that, sometime after you've lived and you've made a mistake, you know what not to do. And so we need to be able to let them pour that into us as well. So I think we as a people, we're coming far, and I think we're going to go a lot further. But it's going to come when we learn how to when we
To
learn
move as one.
to move as one. We are one. Now, Manal, with all this being said, I'm craving a moment. I am craving a moment when you give us your wisdom for the evening. I'm craving a moment when you speak from heaven's heart to our ears. Can we have that moment with Manal?
Come closer. So,
Yeah.
something that is really important for us to take away is how we affect change every single day. And for me, it starts with the way I work with kids, right? I can do that. I can pour into kids every single day and teach them the beauty of themselves and teach them the beauty of those around them. But if you don't acknowledge what it is that you bring into the earth plane, then you're not living your fullest potential every single day. I know you're not. So I want to encourage everybody to take a minute and just sit with yourself and realize who you are, the beauty of you, how you can pour into the world. It may be that you're the person that talks to all your neighbors just to give them a beautiful hello, to lift their spirits a little bit. Or maybe you're the one that always brings groceries to your family members because you know they're struggling. Or maybe you're the person at the office that always gets the energy cracking in the room. Whatever it is, you be great at that and recognize that you can affect and influence so much just being your whole beautiful, lovely self.
Whew, girl, you just spoke to my whole spirit. Used you tonight, girl. Spirit used you tonight to speak to me. I have been battling. My tribe has been under attack. By my tribe, when I say my tribe, I mean my group of people, the people I roll with, and that roll with me. And I recently have had to be a help to some of my tribe, and I was battling with that because I'm like, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but sometimes what you want to do is not a part of the assignment that you have for this season, right?
Yeah.
And so, thank you for that. I needed that. Give hearts, 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 hearts. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you like what's being said. Absolutely, absolutely. But now, how can the people find you on social media if they want to find you on the social media applications?
Kwame, come on, you know. Do the push the button. There we go, right on the bottom of the screen. Instagram is proud_Manal Smiles, and YouTube under Bay Windows. I promise y'all I'm gonna get some more content out. I'm working on me, y'all. I'm working on me. I want to make sure that whatever I give is legitimate. So I'm working on more.
Absolutely. And then you can follow me on all social media platforms, WaltB Connection. I discuss the things of the things. When you follow me, you're gonna get a lot of music because I love music. And you're gonna get some gay stuff because I'm gay as hell. And
was that you coming out the closet again?
You know, I tend to do it. I tend to do it every few
outfit
days.
Changes every 30 minutes. Outfit changes. I just come out as a new you.
It kills me every now and then. Somebody will come to my channel and they don't know I'm gay, right? And then I'll say something gay and they'll be like, "Oh my god, oh my god." I'll be like, "Oh, you're definitely new here. You're definitely." Is Manal on TikTok? Manal, are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. I'm the oldest young person you gonna meet, okay? I mean that. I'm the oldest young person you're gonna meet. But if you want to do a little tutorial, please help my life.
I know that, right? But yeah, so follow us on all available social media platforms, and we're definitely Kwame says we got you, Manal. Absolutely. For those of you that don't know, Pyromedia will hook you up when you sign up for their services. But yeah, follow us on all social media platforms. And we're going to definitely be back here next week to discuss some more of the things. We have some great content coming your way. And so it won't
Do we
all
get
be
freaky next week?
You want to get tonight, baby? I'm gonna get freaky with you. We were supposed to be freaky this week, wasn't we?
Do we? No. In honor of 9/11. In honor of 9/11, we definitely wanted to talk about. We definitely wanted to highlight all of the individuals who lost their lives that day. All of the families that were left in fragments because they lost loved ones or even their homes, businesses, all kind of things that happened. We definitely want to acknowledge that, but we also want to take the time to acknowledge the other side, all of the individuals who then were racially profiled and lost lives on that side too. We wanted to have this conversation tonight, being able to pay respect where respect is due. And a lot of times our society likes to shift our focus wherever they want us to shift it to, but we have to remember that all people are deserving of honor and respect. Maybe not your friendship all the time, maybe not you spending time with them because of however your personality mixes with their personality, or whatever your standards are, but everyone is deserving of respect and honor and space. And so no matter what your culture is, no matter what your ethnicity is, no matter what your social economic status is, we want to make sure that especially after 9/11, we start shifting the way we treat other human beings.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Body language don't lie, no matter how hard you try. Go ahead and take us away, Kwame. I'm sitting there.